Hey, what's up, what's up? Let's talk about it. God bless y'all. God bless y'all, God bless y'all, God bless y'all. Welcome to another episode. Ron's opinion. Don't matter. Hopefully y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful time. Hopefully you're having a beautiful moment in life. Beautiful moment in life. Hopefully. If not, pray about it. Seek God about it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But Leah. How you doing, Leah? How you doing? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah. Of course I was on your live for a little while. Oh man. God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The reason why I say let's talk about it is I really ain't had nothing to talk about. I just want to get on here and have fun. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had no subject whatsoever. I just wanted to get on here and have fun. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we can talk politics. We can talk, but y'all know what? I gotta tell y'all something. What happened the other day? All right, I was I went on a unofficial gun store tour. All right, so I decided I'm gonna go possibly buy another firearm, but I didn't buy nothing. Unfortunately, I didn't. Yeah, they should. Of course, they should. White people should. White girls, black men, white women, black women, everybody should. It don't matter. What's up, Chris for real? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit that like button. Yeah, I think everybody should be able to use braids. Hairstyles are hairstyles. That's real talk. I don't think anybody should care what. Like if you like it, you do it. That's the way I see it. I don't think no hairstyle is for any one group of people at all. I feel like if you like the hairstyle, wear it. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I don't think I laugh when I see people saying, "Oh, this is for that style. This is for that." Nobody really knows. I mean, the world been around for you know thousands and thousands of years. You don't know what people wore back then. You know what I mean, we might have had barbers back then. Nobody knew that. But anyway, back to my gun store. All right, so I went on a gun tour. Yeah, well, let them be pressed. And if they keep on being pressed about it, just put a D in front of it, and then you understand why they act like that. Because they depressed. But anyway, so I go, and I decide I'm going to go look for me a gun. And I got something in mind I wanted to do. So I go to one gun store that I've been at many times. I said, well, I'm going to go there first. It was kind of few people in there. So I said, yeah, you know what? I know another one. It's about a good 25 minutes from here. I'm going to drive there. So I'm going to drive there. So I drive there. They was closed. This is on a Monday. So they was closed. So now I leave there. And I Google another gun store that I don't know where they at. I drive there. They said there was supposed to be one there. Wasn't none there. No. So now I Google for more gun stores. And I drive there. I was telling you, I was driving the whole day looking at going into different gun stores, just looking at guns. I probably went into 4 or 5 different gun stores, and every last one of them was a distance away from each other. I don't know why I did it, but I just wanted to do it. And I ain't buy nothing. All I did was burn gasoline, and put miles on my truck. But I still had a good time. It was a nice, peaceful drive. Playing my music, whatever, enjoying myself, going to different stores, got to talk to different people. I did find a couple of gun stores I didn't know existed in that. And they, it was like, oh, okay, cool. They had some different stuff in there. They didn't have nothing I want, but they was in the middle of actually remodeling their building and stuff, so they didn't have a whole lot of a selection. But what was cool about them is that they're actually going to be doing manufacturing their own guns there. So I was like, oh, cool. Like, so they're going to be doing a lot of so they expanding their business. So they'll be making a lot of the stuff right there. So that was like, oh, that's what's up. So I was glad I found it, and I'm like, I can always take the trip back there and see what they got. See what they got once they get. He said they're gonna be doing this for about 3 months from now, and they'll probably be done with it. But they said it's gonna be a while before they actually get it up. But it was cool though. It was cool. The guy there was real knowledgeable. But I didn't see nothing I wanted. But they can do what I wanted done because I do want me another firearm. I want me another rifle. I just don't know where I'm gonna go with that. Like I'm thinking about a 308. I'm not sure. Like I just, you know, guns are expensive, so I, it's hard. I'm the type of person who don't like spending money, so it's hard for me to spend money. When I say I want something, I'll say it 1,000 times, and what I'm hoping is the desire to want it goes away, so I don't buy it. But sometimes that don't work. I try, but I'm like, I want to get where I want to get, but then I end up spending money. I mean, I end up not spending the money at all, but that's the way I keep myself from buying unnecessary stuff. It's just a discipline I try to keep to say, you know what? If you really want it, give it some time, see if the desire for it goes away. And most of the time it works. And if I see that I still want it after I've given it some time, then at that point, I just want it. And it hasn't went away. It hasn't gone nowhere. So there's things that I want that hasn't actually left me. I just haven't went and bought it yet. So that's just the way I do things. I'm cheap. To some extent I'm cheap. All right, I don't know what LWRC is. I might be. You gotta clear that up for me because I have no idea what that is. LWRC. And I probably do know what it is. I'm just not putting it together right. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that is there. Is that a gun? A type of gun? I'm not sure. Top to bottom, how you doing? Hair and skin care. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know that's what that was. That was nice. Actually, that was real nice. Um, you know what chamber that was? Is it at 556 or 223? It didn't look. It looked like either one, but I'm not too sure. Jay, what's up? The troublemakers in the house. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Yeah, Lee, was that a 556 or was it a 22? I'm not too sure what that was chambered in. But yeah, when I say I went to different stores, I went to and then one of them is actually a okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like I said, I want another firearm, but I want something a little more customized to what I want. Like I'm actually putting I want something the way I want it. So I when I bought this one right here, when I bought that one didn't come with this. It didn't come with this. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but hold on one second. Can y'all see that beam? There's a beam on there. I don't know if you can see it, but then it has see, there's a beam on there. There's a flashlight. There's a tactical light. I don't know if y'all can see all that stuff, but and then the little sights and stuff like that. I put all that stuff on there, but I put all that stuff on there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like none of it. like This one has a red. It's like a red dot. It has a red dot inside of it. It's not an actual scope like the like this one is. Now this is actually my favorite, but um the only thing I put on here was a tripod. But the reason why I say that is because yeah, I like the light. Don't get me wrong, I like the handle and the light. But what I when you have all that stuff on there, all right, here's what happened. I tried to sight this gun in, right? And it's about as good as it's gonna get. But when you have all that stuff and you're trying to sight, I'm trying to sight this in, the beam in here, with the sights in here and all that other stuff. And this has a beam on it too, actually. You probably can't see it, but this actually has a beam there too. But after I did all of that, I was like, you know what? I don't like none of it. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna leave it the way it is because that was like one of my first little attachments parts to the gun type of thing. So it has a little sentimental aspect to it. But I want to get something else, and I want to just kind of make it a little more personal. So I'm thinking about a 308. Um, I probably don't need a 308, but I don't have one, so get one. So yeah, that's my But this one it's confusing because I'm looking at this camera and this camera kind of reverses everything. But my this one right here, my 458, that's my favorite. I love that gun. It got a lot of kick to it. It has a whole lot of kick out. But yeah, I went on this gun tour. Yeah, the 458 bullet. 458. That's a very fat bullet. It's hard to tell, but it's a very fat bullet. If you can see that. I don't have nothing to kind of sit it to, but it's like very fat. But yeah, that's my But I want me I do want something else. I do want something else. I just don't know. I'm looking at I'm thinking 308, but I'm not exactly sure. I might get something not so heavy, but because 308s can get expensive too. But I do want a rifle, and I want to customize it a certain way. I'm not putting no beams and stuff on there. Yeah, yeah. All right, so here's my pinky, and if you can kind of look at the difference between that and the pinky. So it almost as thick as my pinky is. But that's a 458 SOCOM ammo. It's fat. Like it's not really like the bullet's not really long, it's just fat. And it takes the same clips as the 5.56. It does. It takes the same clip as 5.56 regular AR, but you ain't gonna get that many in there. You're only gonna get 10. So here's what I mean. This is a 5.56 ammo, and that's better. You can see it better there. This is 5.56 ammo, and this is 458 SOCOM. But that's my baby. Just the only thing about it is it's not a gun you want to keep taking to the gun range because the ammo is very expensive. That one round is like $2 or something. So I don't make it to the range very often. When I do take it, I take one box, and when it's done, that's it. I take 20 rounds, and when I'm done with that box, it's pack up time. Because that one box is like $55, $60. And you only get 20 rounds out of it. Yeah, so that's why I don't it don't make it to the range very often. But if I go to the range and I go with a group of people and I know somebody never shot that type of rifle or whatever, then I'll bring it to get them so they get the experience to shoot or whatever. But on a regular, too expensive. But how y'all doing? Jay, how you doing? Leah, how you doing? Top to bottom, hair and skincare, how y'all doing? I told y'all I had no subject whatsoever. It was like, I just want to get on here and have fun. Talk to everybody. That's why I said, let's talk about it. I have no subject. I got a lot of subjects. But today I just didn't want to get into it. I just wanted to be normal. I want to say, get on here and talk, have a good time, make some jokes. I ain't had nothing specific I wanted to talk about. But yeah, that gun tour, it wasn't intentional, but I did. I went to like five, let's see, one, two. I did about good 5 hours of driving, and I probably went to 4 to 5, maybe even 6 different gun stores, and didn't buy nothing. And did not buy nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I was usually if I go into stores, I at least buy some ammo. Like I always just say, you know what I'm here, I'm gonna get some ammo and take it home. I ain't even buy that. Dino nuggets for the okay. Dino nuggets for the kiddos. You sure that's for the kids? Yeah, sure, Leah. Mm-hmm. She said dino nuggets for the kids. Yeah, okay. Sure. For the kiddos. Yeah. Now I'm gonna make me some I want some ribs. Some pork ribs. And I'm gonna eventually make some. But it's going I haven't had none in a while. I haven't made none in a while. I had some, but I had with other store like the restaurants make sometimes. But I want to make my own. When I make my own, is I like them better when I make them myself. I don't. Mine will be they'll be very tender, but they won't be like falling off the bone because you still be able to cut it and kind of eat it off the bone. But once you right in your mouth, it's very extremely tender. But it just be right at that point where they're about to fall off the bone, but they just don't. They still with the bone, and it's extremely tender. You barely even have to bite them. It's just bite them off. They just, as soon as you touch it, it just come right off. I don't want them to actually fall off the bone because I want to be able to pick it up with the bone in there and take it off. So I had to play that game, that medium of, I want them extremely tender. Don't want them to fall off the bone because I want to be able to cut it and just pick it up and eat them individually. I don't know. That's the kid in me. I do kid stuff, and I'm old and I eat kid stuff. Yeah, slow cook, slow and low. I ain't in no rush. Take my time. But yeah, I do kid stuff. Like I eat, like I like Reese cups. Like I'm a Reese cup fan, and I eat you know how they say there's no wrong way to eat a Reese cup. I eat Reese cups. Weird. When I get my Reese cup, all right, I bite around the whole rim. All right, so I get a Reese cup and I bite around the whole rim, and then I eat the center. That's how I eat my Reese cup. So that commercial applies to me a lot. There's no wrong way. So, but they eat the center first and they eat the rim. I don't know how they do that, but I'll sit there and bite around the whole rim of the Reese cup and then eat the rest. I don't know why I do it, but when they say, "Oh, you do too," oh snap! All right, I'm not alone. I feel better now. I'm not the only weird person. But yeah, I love them. Here's the thing, I eat Reese, but I hate peanut butter. Like out of a jar, I won't eat it. You can't give me peanut butter out of a jar. I don't know what that is. Like I'll eat Reese cups, the Reese cup, Reese sticks, Reese fast break. I eat the Reese pretzels. Um, there's one Reese I don't really like when they put the Reese's pieces in there. I don't really care for that one, but all the Reese's how they reconfigured the Reese's, I eat them all. Especially the fast break and the Reese sticks, I go to town on them. That's why I try not to buy too much of it because I'll keep eating it. If it's available, it's gone. Me sitting here having a greasy attack. But I don't like peanut butter out of a jar. Never did. Man, that's weird. That's one of the weird things. All right, who else got something weird they do? From top to bottom, I know people probably be people probably be looking at you like they look at me like, why you eating your Reese's like that? You grown ass man. Like, why you eating your Reese's like that? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I need to do that and then put a helmet on my head. Put a helmet on and just They like, what's wrong with him? What is wrong with him? Issues. But yeah, I do like. I'm trying to think. What else do I eat that's weird? Like I do. I eat food sometimes really weird, but trying to think. It's something else that I do that I know I'm not thinking off the top of my head. But oh yeah, Jay, what you got? Oh, I do got another one now that you're thinking, but I'm gonna see what Jay got first. This is really gonna make y'all laugh. Oh man, yeah. So you got Myra feet from like Martin. You gotta go to town on us. Y'all pull out that belt sander. Oh wow. Now the Reese sticks. When I get the Reese sticks, I eat. When the Reese sticks, I'll eat across the top of it. Like you know, I just eat the stick. No, I don't do that. I'll eat across the top of it. I'll take the top layer off and then eat the bottom layers next. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, Jay. Now I see why y'all came up with that company because them feet needed help. She probably came up with the top part and was like, "Oh, you know what? No, we gonna go to the bottom too, Jay." Because she looked at your feet and got inspired. And we need the bottom. We gotta make it top to bottom. But yeah, I'll eat the Reese sticks. I'll eat across the top, like take the one layer off the top of it, eat that, and then I'll go to the bottom when they eat that second one, and then eat the second one. But that's it. The other thing I eat real weird is chocolate pretzels. I believe it too. It's chocolate pretzels. All right, don't judge me. All right, you know like how you know how chocolate pretzels kind of they shape kind of like a heart. Pretzels, they kind of got their heart shape, whatever. All right, so the two rounded parts on the end of the pretzel, I'll bite both of them off, right? So it looks like so it looked like a stuffed bomber, and then I'll sit there and play with the pretzel like it's airplane, and then eat the rest of it. It's that weird stuff. I kid you not, to do it. It's weird. And I'll go chip, chip, and I get mad when it don't work out right. Oh, you one of those people, Jay? You got to keep all your food separated. Oh wow, I used to be like that. I stopped. I swear, I kid y'all not. That used to be me. I literally stopped doing it. I don't know where it happened. I used to be like that. Like nothing could touch each other. There were times I just put in three different and I was like, then times I would have three different set plates or three different bowls or something to just keep it away from each other. And then I stopped. I was like, man, it's too much work. And I literally just like, oh, you know what? I think what happened? Something got mixed and it was good. I don't remember where it happened. I think something got mixed. I think my macaroni and cheese and my yams. That's what happened. Macaroni and cheese and the yams got mixed, and I ate it together, and it was good, and it ended everything. That's where it ended. But I used to be man. I used to, oh, and then I touch. I go get them divider plates and make sure I don't put too much in the dividers, or I'll just go get separate plates. I used to be like that. I used to have Um, I used to be like that, but like I said, the macaroni and cheese and the yams touched one day, and that was it. After that, it ended it. And for some reason, I just stopped doing it. I was like, oh, okay, it ain't that bad if it's mixed. But I eat weird. Some stuff in my mind is weird, but there's a lot of people that probably actually does it because I did not expect anybody to eat Reese cups like I do. And then top to bottom says she eat hers like she around the edges and then eat the center. I don't know, for some reason it tastes better that way to me. I don't know why it does, but it just seems like it makes the. I don't even know if it's that or just I'm just trying to savor the moment as long as possible because I do that with a lot of stuff. Like if something if something's really good to me and I don't have a lot of it, then I'm gonna eat it slow. I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna savor it as long as possible. But and so I think that's probably more of it than anything. Is just I like to savor it as long as possible. But yeah, I'm like that with food. Like I'm not a big food eater. I don't eat a lot of food. Some people. That's why I don't let people make my place. Mike in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing, Mike? Just in case, Mike, you got in here and you have no idea what we talking about. We just talking about weird stuff. Ain't no particular subject. I'm just here talking about how I eat my Reese cups weirdly. I just around the edges and eat them. But everybody with just little quirks and stuff that we everybody kind of do weirdly. Like Jay said, he got Myra feet from like Martin. I don't know if you ever seen Martin. I don't know if you ever seen Martin. The episode of Martin when Martin said you gotta go to work on Myra's feet, and he took out that belt sander and started going to work. Oh man, I laughed about that episode so many times. Oh man, I don't know. Martin TV show was so funny, man. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, Jay. Yeah, I understand that one though. I really do. I understand that. Plus, you're a cook too, so I get that one. I get that one. If you can't see the kitchen, you don't want to. It's hard to want to eat at a restaurant that you can't see the kitchen at. I get that one. I honestly, I can understand that one. That's actually a good one. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't try to fight them and remove that one. That can save you from a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm not like that, but I understand that one. I'm not like that, but I understand. But I would prefer to be able to see your kitchen, but I understand that. I think that's a. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad way to be. Yeah, I'm. All right, here's the thing. I live in Philadelphia, born and raised all my life. I do not go downtown Philadelphia and eat nothing. You can't get me to go downtown Philadelphia, eat no food, no restaurant in the city of Philadelphia, never. And honestly speaking, if I was in New York, when like the downtown areas or any part of New York, I wouldn't go there neither. Because I don't know what people are realizing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if people realize it, but in the city of Philadelphia, this is why I don't go in the city of Philadelphia. If you ever go downtown Philadelphia, right? Do the city downtown Philadelphia when it's at night, like at nighttime and everything is shut down and closed, where the varmints now have their moment. The nocturnal creatures start to move about in the city of Philadelphia. When you see how many nocturnal creatures move about downtown Philly inside these restaurants and people go to eat all the time, they probably would never want to go into a restaurant ever again in life. That's why I don't go downtown Philly and eat nothing. What's good? That's why I just don't. I don't like down there. And I'm not saying all the restaurants gotta have an infestation, but I've seen restaurants, man. I walk by there at night when me and my friends were younger, and we would walk by a restaurant, man, and we'd be like, "Yo, look at this," and it'd be rats all over the place, just going to work. And I was like, "No way, Jose, will I ever?" Yeah, I just won't do it. I won't do it. People like, "Oh man, you should go downtown." Like, go down there for what? No, I ain't going down there. I don't eat none of the restaurants down there. I mean, I know they probably take cautions and exterminating and stuff like that, but when I was a kid, being a kid, young boy walking down there and seeing that, it's like, nah, I won't go. Always. Always pray over your food. Because you don't know what people are thinking and what they have in your and what their intentions are. That's real talk, Mike. That's real talk. You should always pray over your food. And here's the thing. This is what I prayed a long time ago. I said, God, please bless any food and every food I'll eat for the rest of my life. I kid you not. This is what I prayed. I said, because there are going to be times, God, I might forget to pray. So I'm praying right now that for the rest of my life, bless every food that I'm going to put in my life, in my mouth, and that it be a nourishment to my body, just in case I have moments where I don't pray. And somebody's like, oh, you can't do it. Why can't I? I can believe that way. Don't tell me why I can believe. Because what happens if you forget? You hungry, you just go eat and you don't think about it. You just like, nah, I need cover for the rest of my life. And I worked in the kitchen, so I know. I seen what people do. I've had to check people in the places that I work for doing some weird stuff. Like, nah, no, we don't do that here, bro. Nah, that stuff fall on the floor, go in the trash. I tell y'all a story, kid you not. Me and my cousin used to work at restaurant we used to work in, and the manager had the tendency to want to do that. I kid you not. This is the manager of the business. And one of the guys, he used to make all of the biscuits for the day. And what happened was he was trying to hurry up and he accidentally dropped like a whole big pan of biscuits or whatever. And this very manager was trying to tell him to pick them up and put them back on the tray so we could serve them to people. Now I'm looking at the other guy who worked there. I'm not going to say his name, and God rest his soul because he's no longer here right now. But he was like, "What? I ain't doing that." He said, "Oh no, this is the manager. You're gonna pick them biscuits up and you're gonna put them back on the tray to serve." And he was literally adamant about him picking these biscuits up. And he was like, "Listen, I don't care what you say. You can fire me. I'm not doing that." So, of course, the manager starts picking them up, putting them back on the tray. When I say I'm not lying about this, I am not lying. He's literally start putting them back on the tray. Now I'm watching this from a distance. At this point, I'm the head cook. Yes, he's my boss, but he's not that type of my boss. He couldn't fire me because my position was kind of on the same level as his, but he couldn't actually fire me. But he couldn't fire the other guy neither, because he was he couldn't fire him neither because he was in the union at the time. So he really couldn't fire him. But could you imagine trying to fire somebody for not picking up food that fell on the floor and serving it to people as a manager? This is going to be your argument. So he's just trying to force it, but not and hoping that he don't get in trouble for it. So I'm like, so when the guy walks away and he goes and just walks away, he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go get some more stuff and make some new ones. They just can't, they won't have to wait for him to get them. They're going to have to wait for him. So he picks them up, puts them all back on the tray, and I'm watching this whole thing go down. I said, let me just see how far he going to take this. So he puts them back on, I don't know if you ever work in restaurants, they got the carts and stuff. So he slides it inside the cart so that they can be served for lunch. And then he walks away. And I walk right on over there. I grabbed them off that cart, took them right outside the back door to the dumpster, and dumped them in the dumpster. Then I came back in there and I told him, I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever do that. I said, listen, bro, we got a problem. And I didn't think you was actually serious about that. I just wanted to see if you was literally going to go through that process and actually was willing to serve this. And I said, I done seen you do some questionable stuff and I keep checking you on it. I'm not your boss. But at this point, the VP gonna know about this one, bro. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Because you this is way too far. Like, I've seen you do some questionable stuff, but this is just way too far. And when the VPs came up there, I pulled them aside, told them what happened. And they let me go right there on the spot. But I was just like, man, this is like, as I know managers, they under pressure trying to make profits and stuff like that. And what I mean by questionable stuff, like, I'm the type of person, if we date stuff, you know how you put food away and you put the dates on and you put it away? All right. If it hits that date, I'm probably not going to use it. Now, he's a manager. He going to have to make that decision. I don't want to do it because if I put something on there and it's dated the day that I use it, I got a thing with me. And if I think it's been sitting there too many days, I just want to get rid of it. I refuse to serve stuff like that. Now, that's the manager. I don't have the authority. That's his job. He has the authority to decide if it went in the trash or it don't went in the trash. I'm just not going to do it. That don't mean the food was bad. It's just in my mind, I'm like, I always think of it, if I had to eat it, I wouldn't want it. So, it don't mean the food was bad. And that's what I mean by questionable stuff. But it don't mean he was serving them bad food. It just means, in my standards, I wouldn't have served it. It don't mean it was bad. It just, I don't like taking that type. I wouldn't want to take that type of risk with somebody else. So in my mind, just though. Now here's the thing: no one ever got sick from it or something like some of the stuff they did. But to me, that was just questionable. But when them biscuits fell on that floor, and he was willing to put them back up there, and then I remind you, he wasn't even there that long. This is probably, he was only a manager there for almost 2 months. This is like 2 months that he was there. Because the guy that was there before him got promoted, and they brought him in as a replacement to him. And yeah, that was his last day. Because the VP, the vice president of the company used to come to my site and eat all the time. And he was like, no, they said, no, they would always come to my site. So he was like, when they come out to the sites, they would come to my site and eat. Or they'd go to like another restaurant. But a lot of times they would come to where I was at. And I pulled him aside. I was like, man, I need to talk to you about something, man. You're not going to like this conversation. And when I told him what happened, he called the other guy, and then he called a couple of other people, and they was like, is that what happened? They said, yeah, that's what happened. And he called them in there and let him, and they escorted him out that day. Yeah, I believe you, Jay. Listen, we threw out a lot of food, and don't get me wrong, I ain't nothing like that, but you got it. You can't, when you serving people food, you got to be careful with that, man. Like, you gotta be careful with that. It's one thing that what people do in their own home amongst their own family members, but people are paying for this food, and you don't know if that. Like, to me, it's why take the risk. I mean, I know you're trying to make profits and all that, so I get all of that. But if you make a bunch of people sick, what good is that? Oh yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty. Yeah, that's nasty. And be honest with you, I seen some crazy stuff in the cook, like in restaurants. If you work in a restaurant and you go to, that's why I like what Mike in the building said about praying over your food. You really should pray, because even though you might be able to see a lot, there's always a lot of stuff that you don't see. Because if anybody knows, hands are quicker than the eyes, and somebody could do some slick stuff before you can be looking right there in the slightest blink. They done did some slick stuff. So yes, I hate wastefulness too, Leah. But you know, like, it's kind of like with the other live, and I said about when you pay for something, you should get what you pay for. And if I'm paying for if I go to a restaurant, I'm paying for fresh food. I don't want to pay for leftovers. Like, that's something that, to me, in a restaurant, you shouldn't be serving people stuff that's leftover, because you paying top dollar, you want fresh food. So that's why I feel like you should be throwing this stuff away. You should not be serving leftover food. I feel like you should be getting fresh food. Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If anybody on this live, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already. And share all the videos, I say, Phil. Yeah, I mean, they are money hungry. But here's the thing. You keep serving people food and people get sick off their food, you're probably not going to, they might not complain about your food, but you probably lost that customer and they probably never be back. Here's the thing to that. All right. A while back, there's a Popeyes not too far from me. I do not go in there. Yes, please subscribe to go to Jay's YouTube channel, Bone Crusher. And please subscribe to his page if you haven't already. Definitely, please subscribe. But here's the thing. I went to Popeyes. And yes, Yes, please, everybody, subscribe. Like each other's stuff, subscribe, check out each other's video. Please share each other's videos along with mine too, but everybody else's too. But here's the thing. I went to Popeyes and got some food, and it made me sick as a dog. When I say I was sick, I was sick. Like, you know, all the time. For a while. And it tore me up. I have yet to been back to that Popeye. I won't even touch Popeyes no more. No. When I say it messed me up, it messed me up. And after that, I won't even eat. And listen, I go past there on a regular basis. I smell the chicken. Sometimes it smells good, and I'll be like, yeah, you remember that? Yeah, don't do that. That smell be like, fried chicken to get you. Probably was I don't know what it was, but I know fried chicken will get you. Like you can be full of food and somebody start frying some chicken. I don't know what that is, and all of a sudden I gotta taste some chicken. I want some, and they probably don't. Jay, you're probably right about that one. I ain't never working in Popeyes. I don't know, but I doubt it. Here's the thing. It tore me up. When I say it tore me up, it tore me up, and I was just like, no, the whole house can go to Popeyes, and guess what? Y'all got it. I ain't touching it. I'm good. But that's what I mean. You serve somebody some bad food, and you don't realize what you're doing. You think, oh, they all right. A lot of times, like I didn't go to the Popeyes and complain about it. I didn't say nothing to them about it. I just said I ain't going there no more. That's it. I don't want no food from there because I can't trust it. And people take chances with people's food, and you end up getting somebody really, really sick. Next thing you know, you got a lawsuit. You're gonna wish you never did it. That's why I said sometimes it's just not worth the risk of giving somebody bad food. So some people would do it, some people don't. And like I said, there were some questionable things that the manager would do, and I'm just like, you know, I'm not saying it was wrong or right. It just in my eyes it was questionable, and I'm like, I wouldn't do it. But you the boss, you the manager, you choose what you do. I'm just not going to do it. So that's the way I was. But yeah, he would do it. And he was like, I mean, like I said, they didn't say the food was bad. I'm not saying it was bad or it went bad. He gave him sour or spoiled food. And just that I was like that. Yeah, I don't listen. They ain't never got to get worried about me with Popeyes, and I ain't going there. I'm not. I won't eat their food no more. And it ain't just that Popeyes. It's any of them. It's any of them, Jay. I won't. I won't even go in them. I mean, and here's the thing. I used to go to Popeyes. I didn't really eat their chicken a whole lot. I used to just get the shrimp and the fries. This time it was the chicken that made me sick. Man, I just don't even bother. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't, these fast food restaurants, a lot of them. I'm not even gonna just say Popeyes. I just think that they don't hold to a standard no more. And I'm not saying they do. I'm not a fast food eater a lot anyway. I don't really like it. All right, I don't know what the Huddle House, Waffle House. Yeah, I don't. I mean, at least the Waffle House, you can see what they're doing, but you can see what they're doing. Domino's, I'm not really a big fan of Domino's, so once in a blue I've eaten there, but I never heard of the Huddle House. Waffle House I've eaten in some rare occasions, but at least you can see what they're doing in Waffle House for the most part. Yeah, yeah, I don't man, it's been a minute since I've been in the Waffle House, but we don't like their waffles though. I don't the Waffle House. I really don't. I don't like their waffles. I'll go there and get breakfast, but I don't like the waffles. I don't. I'm like, how you waffle? How you the Waffle House and your waffles suck? Like the waffle was nasty. I'm like, so this is what made y'all famous? The waffle? Like the Waffle House, that's supposed to be. It's like going to IHOP, International House of Pancakes, and the pancakes are hard. That's supposed to be your specialty. I went to Waffle House, ate a waffle, like, ew. I'm like, but some people like their waffles, but I don't. I didn't like it at all. I was like, I don't like y'all got famous off of this. Something's wrong. I can make way better waffle than this at home by far. Oh man. Like yeah, I didn't like I said, I didn't have no subject. I mean, I always got subject. I can go in 1,000 times against on people when it comes to certain things, especially those Dems. Y'all know how I feel about the Democrats. Yeah, I don't. I like their pancakes actually. They gotten a lot better recently. But and once in a blue we do go there. But and pancakes actually is pretty. I guess it depends on where you go. Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah. I just sometimes I have to give myself a break because there's so much stuff going on politically that it's like I try not to focus on negative, but believe me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm never gonna stop going in on them until they stop with the craziness. Then I'll stop, and I probably won't then either. Yes, yeah, you're right, Jay. They are proof. They're proof that we're on the right track. As I just, for the life of me, I mean, you literally have, I think there were 4 to 5 Democratic politicians are trying to go after this one guy and bring him home. I mean, not home, but bring him back to America. Like the craziness of this. Just I swear to you, everything in me says this guy knows something. This guy knows more about what these Democratic politicians and all of this Democrat Party doing than because it don't make sense that they would go after one person and try to make it such a big deal over one person. Like he must know more about y'all sex trafficking and all of this stuff y'all been doing with all y'all tied to P Diddy and all of this crazy stuff. Y'all spending taxpayers' money and y'all doing all this stuff for this one dude. What does he really know? And he's a gang member, which tells me that he's probably doing. He's been part of trafficking. Smuggling. All of the sex smuggling and all the other stuff that they've been doing, drugs and all that. This dude must know a whole lot, and y'all trying to make sure he don't get a chance to talk too much. My thing is this. Right, right, Liam. My thing is, so it doesn't make sense to me. Like, no. And like I said before, why they don't fight that hard for their community? Why the Democrats don't go that hard to make their neighborhood and communities better? Like, they don't make sense to me. They're fighting. You're trying to take taxpayer money. Y'all just probably spent millions of dollars over this one dude. Like, this don't even make sense. It don't even. I mean, it makes sense. And Jay, I get with your point because that's the part that makes sense. But you can't hate this country that much and want to y'all that much of a thief, huh? Like it don't make it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's just like I'm like now it's 4, 5 of y'all. Y'all still pressing the issue. Like you can't find no real American citizens that wants this dude back in America. So where y'all getting this idea that American citizens are supporting this? Because they're not. The only people that supporting this is the people y'all paying to go around and start trouble and try to do all this stuff. Y'all mess up these cars and these Teslas and stuff. That group of people that y'all got on your payroll to go over around and try to make it look like people are pissed off. Most 80% of America is not with this. Probably more than that. Is looking at this and saying, what? Have y'all lost your mind? Y'all trying to bring back a gang member? I don't get it. I mean, I get it. Because I know what Jay is saying is profitable. And people probably say, how is it profitable? It's very profitable. Because if he's part of the game that's allowing them to that they're doing all of the connections between sex trafficking and smuggling and bringing people across that border and the drug smuggling part, if he has an intake with that, and I'm telling you, somewhere along the line, these Democratic politicians are in this stuff deeper than we know. Because it just don't make sense to go after to try to save this one dude so badly. Unless he's your connector. He's the one connecting all of the dots and know everything. Because my thing is this, why would you go over there just to shake his hand and say to him, when he went over there, to me, that shake hand was like, don't you talk. That's why he went over there. You know, don't you say nothing to nobody what we doing. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Why would you go to another country just to shake your hand with a criminal, a gang member that's a wife beater criminal? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Is you went over there face to face with him, was like, you know, you better not talk. You know what we about, and you know you better not talk. We're gonna try to get you back over America, but you might not be able to get there. But if you say something, we're gonna have to deal with you. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Why would you do that? Meanwhile, your city, Maryland, is falling apart. Baltimore, Maryland's in a crack hole, and you feel it necessary to leave the problem. This is just like over there in California when they had no wildfires. This woman decides she wants to go. I think if she was in Africa or something. Why your county is found on fire? You felt the need to go somewhere else while the citizens are dealing with fires. You over in another country. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Gavin Newsom, that's what Trump calls him. All of them are more concerned about illegal immigrants than they are about the very people that voted for them. All of these politicians on the Democratic side are always concerned about people that can't even vote. Can't even vote, but they all want to vote for. They all acting like they're acting like these people supporting them, and nobody's supporting that. Yeah, the judge. I just don't get it. What is that you got? What are you sending me? Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to click ones. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. When I say it's crazy, it is crazy. I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah, Jay. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I seen that story too about having. I think she should go to jail. I don't care. She go to jail. You're a judge. Now, he came across the border legally, right? Now, that means he broke the law to get here, and you keep him in your house. You should go to jail. You should be stripped from your judgment seat, and you should be sitting in prison for housing illegal immigrants. And that's real talk. You should go to jail. I don't know why you ain't there already. You should have been arrested and thrown in jail because you housing a fugitive. You broke the law by housing a fugitive. You're harboring fugitives. That you should go to jail. If I was to harbor a fugitive, a criminal, and knowingly, you're a judge, you knew I should be in jail for harboring fugitives. Why is this person not in jail? She should be. Well, I think it's a woman. I'm not sure too. I didn't see who it was. I just heard the story. But they should be thrown in jail. In jail. And put in jail for some years. And removed from your judge seat because clearly something you don't know. You don't even respect American law. How you going to prosecute? Okay, Mel, I wasn't too short. But how you going to prosecute American citizens and make judgment to how much time they spend in jail, but not, but then harbor a fugitive in your house? Somebody that broke the law to get over here, and you know it. They're illegal, and you keep them in your house. And as a judge, your duty as a judge was to make sure that this person get obtained by the police, and sent back to his own country. Once you knew that they was illegal. As a judge, that's your duty. That's like a police officer keeping an illegal immigrant in their home. You should lose your job and you should go to jail. And that's even worse. That's even worse, Jay. How you? Wow. Wow. I mean, I didn't. When I watched the story about, when I heard the story about the judge keeping them in their house, and I just was like, I'm not surprised. I didn't even look at the rest of the story. I said, I'm not surprised because I already know that's what they do anyway. Oh yeah, I know that's what, and there's a lot of them that do it. Like here's my point to what you're saying. With these hotels that these illegal immigrants were staying in, these illegal immigrants were staying in. The reason why they were doing it is because a lot of these hotels are owned by the politicians and their cronies and their judges and stuff, and they're shareholders of these hotels. So they send all of these illegal immigrants into these hotels. They inflate the hotel prices so that they can charge the government way more money than these rooms are worth while they're housing illegal immigrants in there. And then they all gonna get it back. They're gonna even get it in return. Now, oh, we're gonna give out a special dividend because how much profit we made. Now they're gonna give out a special dividend. That's their so-called legal way of shooting that money through there, and all their cronies own these hotels, man. And then that's just what you see on the surface. The backhanded stuff we don't see. The private stuff we don't see that they do behind the deal they do behind. So it's definitely profitable. It's extremely profitable that what they do, and they don't care. They don't care. But thank God we got an administration in office that has a sense of honesty. I'm not saying that the Trump administration is 100% honest, because nobody is, in my opinion. But I'm so glad and thankful that we have an administration in there that, number one, tells you exactly what they're doing. They make it extremely public what they're doing. Sometimes I think they can hold back some of that, but it is what it is. They make it extremely public what they're doing, and they're about as honest as you could possibly be with the public, and let everybody know exactly what the president, what his agenda is, what they're doing, what they're changing, executive orders, everything. You've never seen this much transparency in any president prior to Trump. I will argue that with anybody. No one in the United States history in my 50+ years of watching all this stuff have I ever seen this much transparency and leadership. By far. He beat them all. By far. By a lot. If you don't know what's going on in this country as it relates to the Trump administration, is because you have made a conscious decision to not pay attention. That's it. You just consciously said, I don't want no parts of that. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Because they putting it everywhere. If you go to True Social, which I'm on, I have an account on True Social. You go to True Social, you follow the real Donald Trump. You get everything, they tell you everything they doing. You go to X and you see on X, you see everything that Doge is doing. And Trump is over there too. And there's so much stuff that's going on, information that's being spewed out on what the Trump administration is doing. There's no excuse. You just choose to be ignorant. Because you hate them that much that you refuse to pay attention. That's the only thing that makes sense. You hate them that much because you refuse to pay attention. So because you hate him, you don't want to hear what he has to say or what the Trump administration is doing, policies that they're writing, anything, because because none of this stuff is, and that's just the stuff on True Social. That's not including all of the YouTubers that put out videos about what the administration is doing, the executive orders that they're doing. There's so many ways you can find out what this administration is doing that if you don't know, is because you choose to be ignorant at this point. Yeah, I expected that to come, Jay. He already said he wasn't going to be there. He said for about a year. But I think at this point it's probably necessary. He probably got good enough people there. They've done a lot. They found a whole lot. They can, he don't have to be there 24/7. I think they don't. Honestly, I don't even think he needs to be there anymore. I think he needs to go back and fix his companies because if he don't get back to his real stuff, he gonna have a bigger hole than he asked for. So I think he sacrificed long enough. They got enough people there to know what they're doing. That you don't need them there. They already laid the groundwork for it. So I think honestly, I think he should step away and go ahead back to his own life and put somebody else there to handle it that can take care of it. So I honestly I think that's great. He stayed there long enough to put a system in there. Now he probably's gonna go back to doing what he's doing. They probably will still have talk to him if they need some information or something like that. Trump know he can always go to him for something that they might need. So honestly speaking, I think it's a good time for him to step away. He said he was only going to do it for a year. That was the maximum. But if they accomplish all of that in the short time that they did, and if the people there know what they're doing, and they got enough people there that know what they're doing, and they know what to look for and what they're going after, at this point, he already set he already gave them the roadmap to how to fix it, and they don't need him there no more. They really don't. At this point, they don't need him there. And I think he needs to go back to his companies and go back to doing the stuff that he was doing. So me personally, I'm glad he's stepping away and at this point, let whoever we hired to do it, let them do it, and let them keep going there because at the end of the day, we voted for Trump and Elon Musk, he volunteered to do this, so you can't expect him to stay there for that long. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I think he did enough. I think he sacrificed enough. At this point, he done lost almost $30 billion. I was like, if he stay too long, he gonna have to go start a whole new company just to recover. But no, I get it. I appreciate it though. I appreciate him sacrificing all that he did because he sacrificed a whole lot to help Trump get elected. He went out there on the campaign trail. He was up in Pennsylvania helping the Amish get registered, helping the Amish because they all wanted to vote, and he stayed up there. He did a good job of getting the Amish, and they voted for Trump probably 100%. So, if it wasn't for the Amish, he probably wouldn't have won Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania's a swing state. So when I look at the picture as a whole, yeah, Joyce, that's the point that I was trying to make too. I know you are, Jay. I know you. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that part plays out. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful for what Elon Musk has done, as far as Doge go. And the last I looked at the Doge clock, it was at $330 billion of savings. So. I don't know how far that's going to go, how much is that going to end up being actual real savings. But I think that they have made a major dent in the corruption that was going on in government. That without him, I think they'll be fine. And I think he'll probably just touch bases here and there. Yeah, I know. You know what, funny, Jay? I know she falsified some documents, and you kind of know just as much as I do, probably even more to this point, and my life has been a little more consumed than normal. But I hope she go to jail. I ain't gonna lie. I hope she go to jail. And it has nothing to do. My thing is this is because you went after somebody, and it doesn't matter if it was Trump or anybody else. You went after somebody for something that you said he falsified, when in reality, the way they were trying to do it, Trump cannot falsify that information because Trump is not the one to determine the value of something when they have somebody to come and actually look at the value of it. Yeah, I agree. So my thing is this, is that when she tried to say what Trump did, and I said, anybody ever bought a house before or any type of property, Trump can say, if Trump turned around and said, my property is worth $300 million, right? And the bank says, well, we need to send people in, because this is what happens. You have to look at it and see it and evaluate it so that we can get a determining factor of what it's worth. Trump can say what he wants to say. And then they go and they look at all his property and assets and say, okay, we don't think it's worth $300 billion. We look at all of this stuff that you have and what you're trying to borrow money for, and we value it at $200,000, right? Or $250,000. Trump can say one thing, but when they come and evaluate that, they're going to say something else. So if the bank went in and said, oh yeah, it's worth that, the bank going to loan you money based on that information, not just because you said it. That don't even make sense. Now on the flip side of that, anybody ever been and know how this process works? Once that's said and done, and the bank says, okay, we'll let you borrow. Okay, you say it's worth $300,000 million. We had people go and we checked it, looked into it. We validated that it is worth that, but we'll let you borrow half of that. We're not going to let you borrow all of it. Oh, okay. And they loan you money, and then you do and pay back all of the money. Like everybody happy, everything worked out. They want money, they want to do business with you. Y'all not even making sense. And then you turn around and you go after somebody else for the stuff that you're actually doing. You can't make this stuff up, bro. You just can't make it. Never seems to amaze me that whenever they start screaming and holler about something, you know they're the guilty one. You know they're the guilty one. Because that's something, bro. Who would have thought that this, I ain't gonna lie, she opened up the door. She would have shut her mouth up and never said anything and never went after Trump. She wouldn't even be in this situation right now. And it's just like the other one. What's up? Fannie Willis. All of them. They always trying to tell some, whenever you hear them say something about somebody else, because 9 times out of 10, they're the ones doing it. Just like they go after Elon Musk. Oh, he's getting in your personal business. He's going to steal this, and he's in your personal life, and he's going to have access to this. You mean because y'all doing it? Right. That's my point, Joyce. Listen, Joyce, you're right. But my thing is this. If that process, that's how that works. Trump don't get to say that. Everybody, the bank got to look at it. They got to look at what they have. They're going to send their people to look at it. Trump got to send his people. They're going to come to the table. And all of that information that they gather is what's going to determine the value of that property. Because the bank is not going to just give you money just because you said it. They need to know where you're getting this from. I can go to the bank and say my house is worth $1 million. They're going to say, okay, we're going to have to send somebody out there and evaluate the house. They're going to look at it and come back and say it ain't worth that. And they're going to say, this is, in their opinion, this is what it's worth. And then I get to negotiate based on that. Now, I might be able to argue a little bit and say, no, y'all off. And they might be able to adjust numbers here and there. But that's how real estate works. But they're not going to loan you no money based on some ridiculous number. No bank in their right mind is going to do that. They have to actually see the value. So that's why I said this dumb shit. Once they said it, I said, that's not how that worked. And there's no way he did that. I did not have to know what Trump did or not did. I'm like, that's not how that worked. There's no way he did that. In order to pull that off, you got to have the bank involved. You got to have everybody favorable. And banks don't do things in the interest of the people that they loan money from because they got to protect the people's money that they got in their banks. So they try to avoid making bad decisions. So they're not just going to give it because you said it. They got to have concrete evidence, information that says this property is valued at that. As much as possible. And then they'll determine whether they're going to loan you money based on that or not. And they didn't even loan them based on the total value of the property. I think they gave him like half of it. And he paid it all back. So what's the problem? He didn't steal nothing. The bank wouldn't do business with him over and up. So what's the problem? The hate be real. They just mad because he's smarter than them. Yeah, I know. These fools out here tearing up these cars. Hey, crazy part is, when I was talking about I went on this little unofficial gun store tour. One of the gun stores I went to, when you drive through this driveway, they had all of these, I call those Teslas, those big ones. I call them mobile refrigerators because that's what they look like to me, a refrigerator. I don't really like them. But they had probably about 100 of these refrigerators in the back. So I guess it was where they stored them at. They must have hid them there because you would not even know these things were there. You have to drive back there. And the only reason why I went back there because I had to make a U-turn. So I just kind of dipped in there and tried to spin back out. And I go, I'm like, what the? And they had all of these Teslas. The refrigerator. All of these refrigerator Teslas back out there. And I was like, wow, they hot these joints, making sure nobody mess these joints up. I don't like them. They just look weird to me. But I don't think it's right for somebody to tear somebody's stuff up. And of course, I don't have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. And yeah, I'm an old school fanatic. I like old cars. I like. I don't have an old car, but I like them. Like when they have little events and stuff where they have like the old school cars where they had these little events when they all together, whatever, and you go to them. I sit there, I go to them when I if I drive up on one to find out one, I go. I like watching looking at the old cars, how people restored them and stuff like that, and what they did to them and stuff like that. And if I had money, I probably would buy me an own car and restore it or whatever. But I ain't got that kind. I ain't got that type of wasteful money to be doing that. I mean, you gotta have big money. You ever watch the car auction? I'm getting ready to get off here soon, but you ever watch like the auctions? Yeah, yeah, my Chrysler Cordoba I used to have. That was probably the cleanest old car I had. I had a 1970, was it 70? I don't know, it was 80, 1980. I had a Chrysler Cordoba. Had all the chrome. It was a two-door. I had chrome rims on there, all the chrome trimming around there and everything, leather interior, power, everything. That car was nice. Had the half, like the limousine vinyl top. You know how the limousine kind of they cut the vinyl kind of overlays the glass in the back of the car or something, so it kind of closes up the glass a little bit in the back. So yeah, that car was nice. That was a real nice car. It was clean, all black. Had red, painted red stripe line in there, chrome. I had chrome. Well, I bought the rim to put them on it later. And chrome rims, chrome bumper, all the chrome trimming down the side. Man, that car was nice. It had a little horsepower to it too. You know what I mean? For that time, it was, it sounded like a old school cop car. And that sounded like an old school cop car. But it was nice. That car was nice. It was clean, nice. And I miss that car. I miss a lot of cars. I like old cars. Like I'm not. We new cars are new cars. They are what they are. But I love old cars. I think old cars is a symbol of people creativity more than these are. These cars are today. Like these cars today are just junk, piled together junk. And just the minute you pluck them hard, they're falling apart. So, but I like the old school cars. They were built different. Then you can see the craftsmanship, the pride that was taken into building them because they built them. They wanted them to last forever. Now, this stuff they make today is just like 99% plastic. I mean, it is what it is. People, we have to buy them because you need reliable vehicles. And the cars today are, for the most part, probably more reliable. But it's too much to fix it. Like, it's just too much trouble to go through keeping them running. That's what I don't like about them. And I think the fact that we scaling back in these regulations and stuff, if any car company, to me, I think I would go back to the basics. Because there's a lot of stuff they put in cars I don't like. I just don't need them. I don't need all the extra stuff y'all put in the car I don't want. I think if a car company come out and just give you, kind of like the 1980s basics, stuff you really need in a car, all this other stuff you don't need, they probably outdo a lot of sell more cars than anybody because a lot of people don't need all this stuff. All these computers and all this other touch screens and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks good when you first get the car, but the excitement dies after a while. Give me an old school car, just some power windows, some power locks. Oh snap! Jay had the Datsun B210. Oh man, yeah, uh, my first car was not pretty. I had a Ford Pinto. Yep, Ford Pinto. Yeah, I don't know how old was I when my first car was a Ford Pinto, and that was in the 80s. I forget what year, probably like 88, 88, 89, 88, 89, something like that. Yeah, Pinto. Yeah, I had the Ford Pinto, and then after that, I had the small Mustang. I can't remember the name. It was I had a Mustang too, but it was like the small one. Um, when they made that real small, weird looking one. Yeah, Gremlin, the Gremlin. The honeycomb rim. Oh man, the Gremlin. That was a ugly car. I had yeah, my Pinto. I had a Mustang. Um, I had a Ford Granada. I should have had two of those. Um, yeah, I had two Ford Granadas. I had a brown one and I had a gray one. Then I had a Chrysler Cordoba. Of course, that was I was talking about earlier. I had a Chevy Malibu. Yeah, Chevy Malibu. Actually, I had two Chevy Malibus. I actually bought it. My 2001 Chevy Malibu was actually purchased brand new. But I had an old Chevy Malibu, a 75 Oldsmobile Cutlass. My brother used to have a Cutlass Supreme. The one with the little, like I said, he had fat tires in the back. He had it jacked up. Oh, Cornette. He had a Cornette. Yeah, my brother used to have an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. He had he had the air shocks on the back of him because it sat up real high. And the fat tires on the back and the skinnier tire in the front. Okay, 442. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's a nice car. That is a real nice car. That is a real nice car. But what else did I have? Yeah, that was my 78 Chevy Malibu. That was the first time I ever started tinkling with the car. Oh yeah, my family was Seville lovers. My dad had my dad actually had one, two, three, four, five Sevilles that I know of. My dad was a Cadillac man. He had five Sevilles. He had three of the Hunchback Sevilles. With the point the straighten and dip down real hard. He had three of those, and then two of the square back Sevilles. So he had a lot of Sevilles. He had all his Hunchback ones were two tone. He had the brown with the gold. Then one of them wasn't two tone. One was all black. One was blue, the dark blue and the light blue. And he had the brown with the gold, and then he had an all black. And my brother used to have an all blue one with the square back. Man, my whole family used to love Cadillacs. Matter of fact, there's a square back one that's not too far from where I'm at. It's got that Tweety Bird yellow though. It's ugly. What's up, Billy? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, you on the late end of this, but I appreciate you hanging in there, coming in, saying what's up. Hope you're doing well, Billy. Hope business is doing well for you. I mean, careful on the rooms because I know that temperature's starting to kick up. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. A Corvair? Joyce, I don't know what that is. Yeah, my dad had them too, Jay. He had them flat back ones too. He had a couple of those, but for some reason he liked those hunchback ones. But if you oh, Billy showing off, he coming with the 81 Corvette. 81 Corvette, 81 Ford Ranger. What's up, first man? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Oh, yeah, the Ford Ranger. Yeah, I then once I got out of cars, when I bought my first pickup truck, then I got stuck on pickup trucks. My first pickup truck was a Ford F-250, 1980, no, 1993. Yeah, it was a 93 or 97. I don't remember. It was a Ford F-250, extended cab, 8 foot bed, had the gray down the side and it was burgundy and gray. Got the gray down the side and burgundy. Two tone. Yeah, I know. Yeah, man, imagine that. Back in the day, it was Rodney's glad. Oh, Chevette, yeah. I was man. All I seen was Corvette. What? What? So the Chevette that you had. Oh, Chevette. You know what? I'm thinking you said I looked at that and all I seen was Corvette. I didn't even read it. Chevette. Hey, look, wait a minute. My other brother used to have the he used to have a Chevette. He had a blue one. Four-door Chevette with the hatchback. He had a blue one. And he had a system in that thing used to crank all man when I say that he had that little Chevelle, that little Chevette, he had a system in there used to man, you hear that thing blocks away coming. The whole back of it had speakers in that thing. Yeah, I never had no Ford Taurus. Yeah, my brother used to have one of them. No, oh man. Taurus. Striking paper. Yeah, I don't hey, my Malibu had my Chevy Malibu floor was rusted out. I mean I fixed it, but you know you know I rigged it, fixed it. But weird names. Now Joyce, I ain't gonna lie. I'm black. I don't think there's too many things we call what it's supposed to be called. Like I don't know. Like bad is supposed to mean bad, but at this point, bad means good. I guess I don't know. But weird things like that's a good question. Stuff that oh you had an RX-7 too? Okay. Yeah, my brother, his like my I had a Chevy Blazer that I had put in. That was loud. I had a lot of speakers and stuff and amps, and I had some what do you call it? Kenwood. I had two Kenwood 921s and that Chevy Blazer. I think they both was like 600 at the time, like 600 watts each. Then I had two 15s in there. I had it was two 15s, two 10s, two 6x9s, all in the back of it. And the box on the box that I built myself, and then I had more 6x9s in the side, and then I had my dash speakers, and that thing used to sound nice inside that truck. Yeah, I used to have that was my Chevy Blazer was like that. I ain't nothing like I love loud music. Like oh okay, uh, all right, hey Jay, I'm gonna take you back when it comes to amps, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably one of the best amps, the longest lasting amps I ever heard in my life was the GM200. I don't. If it was the GM200. That amp, my brother had those in his car. And when I say those amps never burnt out, they never burnt out. But yeah, I had Kenwood, but he had the GM200s. Yeah, Oh, okay. So Billy, you got a left foot. Billy got a left foot. Yeah. I'm trying to think the fastest vehicle that I had was actually my fastest vehicle I had was actually my pickup truck. I had a my '97 Dodge Ram. My '97 Dodge Ram. That was probably the fastest vehicle. I won't buy sports cars because I got a left foot too. I like to drive. I would if I could drive fast. I would. But I had a '97 Dodge Ram. It had the V10 V10 motor in there, the Magnum V10, and I had put a I bet they did, and I had put a turbo on that one, and I had got the pipes done. I put dual pipes on it. I had put a turbo in there, and I had it, kind of spruced up. I mean, for a pickup truck, it was very fast. I was almost hitting a little close to 500, like 525, somewhere around there horsepower wise. I'm not exactly sure. Billy, you have a good night too, bro. I appreciate it. I'm getting ready to get up out of here too. We've been having a good time, and we really didn't want to know on no particular subject. We just, we just went solo. I said I don't have. I said let's talk about it. We just went into different conversations about everything. But I'm definitely getting ready to get off myself. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, really do. I enjoyed this very, 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 very much. It was a little different, live. No particular subject, giving everybody a chance. Everybody get a chance to reminisce of how good life has been. Oh, now you're going into motor. Now you're going into motorcycles. I feel bad because I had a Gixxer. I had a Gixxer 600. I ain't built like that. But yeah, we get a chance to reminisce throughout life. Stuff we experienced, man. Life been good to us. And if we all think about all the conversations we were just having, look how good God been to us. And how much of life we got to enjoy. Cars, experiences, knowledge, stuff that, this generation probably will never get a chance to experience because they don't know what it's like. And we made it through all of that. And we got to enjoy every bit of it. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like I always say, y'all, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But most of all, make sure you have Jesus Christ in your life because that matters more than anything that we talk about. And I thank him so much for bringing me this far. And I thank him for bringing y'all this far too because we're having a good time. And um, hopefully y'all see me on Freestyle Fridays. I might come in tomorrow. I don't know. I got a lot going on, so I've been busy, a lot busier than normal. But and it's probably gonna be like this for the next month or two. But outside of that, y'all have a blessed, wonderful, wonderful day. No problem, Joyce. No problem. But yeah, you can ask. That's fine. First man, God bless you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bro, we're getting ready to get up out of here. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all very, very, very much. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, not just my channel, but all the ones that are on the channel, because we all been, hanging out with each other every once in a while. And y'all have a good day. Yes. God bless y'all. And y'all have a wonderful one. Peace.